So to my complete shock, yesterday, Micomsoft, who hasn't made anything new in a very long time, announced they are bringing back the Cyberstick, making a USB version, mostly to coincide with the new MegaDrive Mini 2 that's coming out. Um, so, out of disbelief, I just decided to, revisit my old friend here. As being an X68000 owner, I have an original. So yeah, the CZ8NJ2 Cyberstick. Note, however, what I have here is the common Sharp version. This was originally designed and developed by the president of Micomsoft to basically because when they made the X68000 version of Afterburner, which most of the home ports like MegaDrive, PC Engine were based off of, he wanted them to play correctly. He wanted the arcade experience at home. So he made his company make this thing. As I said, this is the more common Sharp license version. The original Microsoft version was actually had no Sharp logo, and all the logos were red. These buttons were red. Those are really rare, though. You don't see those very often. Mostly because it proved to be such a good product that Sharp officialized it. And yeah, most are like this. In fact, even the new USB version is sticking with the Sharp style, strangely enough. But yeah, ooh. If you're not familiar with it, this is absolute quality controller. This is hard plastic, but it is very, very heavy. This thing is chunky. And again, well, the controllers themselves are hard plastic. The shaft are metal, and there's actually a very thick rubber shock absorber around the stick and throttle, because this was developed primarily for Afterburner, so you can, to roll, just like the arcade, you have to slam that stick over, and it is meant to take that. Same with the throttle. To engage, this is your speed, and to engage the Afterburner itself, you go BAM! And this thing is so well built that I've never seen a broken one. It gives you lots of switches for auto fire. You can swap buttons around to do whatever you want with it, basically. They even have adjustment pots and a reset button so you can actually recalibrate the sensitivity if it's not what you want it to be. Interestingly enough, you can even pull out the controller interface. I think originally they designed this so that they could make different interfaces that you could plug it in to use it on different systems. But to my knowledge, none of those were ever created, and instead they just made adapters. If you're familiar with I think it's called the XE1AP, the handheld MegaDrive analog controller, that's actually a derivative of this. And you can even use this with systems that you wouldn't think of. Like PC Engine actually has 5 games that support this. You need the XHE3 adapter, which is actually pretty rare these days. I do have one somewhere, but this is just a quick video. And I did make a video showing the PC Engine support of the stick 10 years ago now. If you want to see that. Even Forgotten Worlds of all games supports it. It actually uses the throttle to control the analog spinner, which is actually really cool. Yeah, this thing is definitely built to be what you want it to be. If you undo the lock switch here and just turn this, you'll notice this actually connects internally by just a standard DB9. And there's actually, basically, it's what it's designed for. Is if you want to put the stick on the left and the throttle on the right, you can literally take them out and swap them. And on the stick side of the port, there's actually 2 DB9 connectors. So even when you move this here, you can still stick it in that way. So you can actually have it set both ways. of course, what the new USB version is going to end up with is, you know, we'll have to see. But Micomsoft has always been pretty good about quality, so... And considering what they're charging for the new USB version, I'm guessing it's going to hold up pretty well. So yeah. So anyway, just to show a little game action, I'm just going to get the X68000 hooked up and do a little demo. Okay, so we'll just start with, of course, Afterburner 2 for the X68000. Don't really have a good way to fit this all in camera due to this way the room's set up, but it's a silly demonstration anyway. So, probably gonna be pretty terrible, but here we go. So of course you got proper analog, just a little bit over, and slam for roll. And of course you got your full analog throttle, slow down, speed up, and if I go BAM! In recent years, a lot of people have, it seems like it's been cool to be like, the X68 port isn't that good. Now to be fair, graphically, it's a far cry from the arcade still, but the speed and smoothness of it is just still makes this my favorite version of the game to actually play. Like, the FM Towns version, for example, is graphically superior, and most people will tell you the 32X version is, like, perfect looking, but those versions just don't have the silky smoothness of this. Now, to be fair, I am playing this at a 16 MHz X8000. If you got a base model 10 MHz, it can get choppy, but at 16 MHz, it never slows down. Just never gets old just slamming Afterburner, but it's really awkward to play this way. And I'm not very good at this game, to be honest, to begin with. But yeah, it's Afterburner. It controls just like you think it would. So, let's just reset here. And, since I got this hooked up, because, yeah, as I said, about 10 years ago, I made a video showing the PC Engine games. Lots of great games, though, that do support this on the X68000 itself. Like, for example... I'll tell you what, let's just boot up. That's another classic here. And of course, you know, the typical ones you'd expect, like Thunderblade, they all support it. But, actually... No, that's not here, that's over here. Where did I put you? It's been a while... Oh, no. Here, yeah, there you are. Let's let up Neural Gear. Neural Gear is basically Space Harrier clone. But it has a reversing mechanic. It's also completely exclusive to the X68000. It's got some really great music. It does support MT32 as well, but for this demo we're just going to go with the FM. Let's give the intro. That's right, that's the load first. But yeah, this is... When everyone talks about the X68000, it's always about arcade ports. But there are some great exclusives. Not a whole lot, mostly because most people did not have the... was it XF option 1, I think? Option 2? Okay. Wait, which button it is. I should look at the manual because it's been a while, because some of these games actually use... Ah, there we go. Yeah. I haven't played this in a while. Some of the games use weird options. This one, you actually have to push one of the kanji keys to activate the analog control. Which is a bit weird. But yeah, we'll just leave that as it is. And let's go for the default weapon. So it's basically Space Harrier, but you use the throttle to actually reverse as well as go forward. And it's all about time travel. You really need to... Oh god, it's really awkward to play my hands over here. But basically it's and it's a Space Harrier clone, but it's all about what you can do before the time runs out and you move on. But this game doesn't even support digital controls. All you have is the Cyberstick or the mouse. And if you're using the mouse, you have to use keyboard buttons to do the speed and reversing, which is pretty lame. Come on. I failed on the first boss. Not even the first stage, technically. Yeah, I haven't played this in quite some time. Easy! And just because we can, we'll go over to low res for scanline freaks. And give me the stronger stuff. There we go. But really, it's all about speed control. And when you get hit, you actually lose time. There we go. Ah, it was better. Just keep that weapon. Yeah, especially here in the city, we go backwards. We can go forwards. We can go slowly forwards. Faster. Slowly backward. Faster. But yeah. When people always ask me about, you know, what kind of exclusives are on this system, this is always one I recommend, but you kind of do need to have one of these sticks to really get any fun out of it. It's got some really nice MT32 music as well, besides, although the FM itself is also quite nice. But yeah, this is extremely awkward to play this way. Well, that's why it feels weird. The stick's reversed. Forgot to change that. Ah, well. Anyway, that's enough of this. Yeah. This was not a planned video at all. This was just a... Woke up, saw the advertisement, and I was like, seriously? They're doing this? I don't even know if I'm going to buy a MegaDrive Mini 2. Though now I kind of want to just to get a USB version of the stick. Though actually, there is a Japanese doujin group who has made adapters to hook one of these original sticks to a modern computer. Though, don't know if they'll be compatible or not. But yeah, also one weird little bonus fact. The FM Towns version, yes, the direct competitor of the Sharp X68000, Wing Commander actually does support the stick as well. Like, seriously. Which I find hilarious, because if you look for the control addendum, it literally just says analog joystick. They didn't use the name, they didn't want to put Sharp anywhere in there, but it actually is this stick. I actually, years ago, played for the entire game on FM Towns, because Wing Commander in Towns does support English. With this stick, and with this stick and the keyboard, it was a really fun experience. So, yeah. Just to give a little shout out to one of my favorite toys.